All right, I know it's kind of dark here at Canada's Country Museum in the shadows, but I just want to get a good shot of the playground and the barbecue as we talk about what is communion and the Eucharist in your spiritual life. Some will, treat communion as just a function. You go up, you do it, you take your wafer, your cracker, your piece of bread, your juice, or your wine. Some will talk about transubstantiation, where it literally becomes the body and blood of Jesus. But I am very Anglican in this fact, in which I say something mystical does happen. It does need to be respected. But in a liturgical life, in a life of a ministry of rule, you should be taking communion or the Eucharist, as it's known in some traditions, very devoutly. But what does that mean when maybe you're traditionally celebrates it once a month or even weekly? Can it lose the meaning? It can, because it just becomes something you do by rote, like when you read the prayers off the prayer book or off the screen on the church and don't really stop and pause and let the word sink in. So I want to encourage you to actually build a Eucharist life. What does that mean? Well, it means that, as we learn from our brothers and sisters in the Salvation Army, from other monastic traditions, any time you sit down to eat, hence the barbecue and the playground, the family times, the fun times that we have out at Countess here and in our own house back in Calgary, it is about being with one another and actually being fully present. So sharing life together, talking, discerning, learning about one another, praying for one another. Even if they're not people who pray, you can still say prayers for them on their path and how they can discern, but also at the same time figuring out who you are. And it is also enjoying what our creation has given us. The foods, the different flavors, the different ways to prepare it. We learn about ourselves from what we like to eat, and by being present and enjoying them, we actually treat it more as just fuel for our bodies. It becomes a time together, a time of family and community that is a space where a holy conversation can happen. So yeah, as we celebrate the 80th year of the Countess Bible School, this is just a little short talk on communion in everyday life and meals together. So one of those great challenges is, if you can't do it every night, once a week at least, or as many times in a week as you can, sit down at a table with your family, with your loved ones, with your friends, and break bread and share life together and actually be present with one another, talking and sharing, and see how it changes your perspective.